What up, guys? This is Steve here. I'm here to talk to you today about the topic of mouthpieces. Okay? Basically, I'm going to be explaining to you the difference between different brands, how they do facings and chambers and just random stuff like that. And I'll even show you the difference in sound between metal and ebonite mouthpieces. And even a plastic mouthpiece. This thing I've got here. Just cheap student crap. But I will be demonstrating 5 mouthpieces today. 2 of which are metal, and 2 of which wait a second. 6 mouthpieces. Correct myself. 2 of which are metal, which is my Berg Larsen Charlie Ventura. Signed, well, engraved, Charlie Ventura Jr. right there. Slant signature, 100/2 MS, and my Autolink Super Twin Master 7 Star. New vintage. Just in case you're wondering, a Rico Royal A5 Graftonite and a C7 Graftonite. And what I've got on here right now, a Vandoren Java. Not Jumbo Java, just a Java with a smooth chamber. It's got a little bit of baffle at the front, and then it moves down into a really big chamber. An T55 rather. And I'll be using a Rico Select Jazz 2H reed for all the ebonite mouthpieces. For the Charlie Ventura Berg Larsen, I'll be using a Legére. I think it's a studio cut, 2 3/4. And a Vandoren Java 2.5 for the Autolink. Okay, so here's the Java. Now this has a large chamber with a small bit of baffle at the front of it and a rather long facing. It's got a little bit of a brighter sound for a hard rubber mouthpiece. So it plays very well, has a lot of response to it. And by the way, ligature is a Robner 2R Dark. That's got kind of a sort of bright sound. Not too bright though. But it has a lot of projection to it, and it's just a very, very good mouthpiece. This is my main mouthpiece. This mouthpiece gives me the sound I never could get out of my Autolink. Okay. So I have to read a little bit here. A little bit dry. Okay. Now and now we're going to switch to a very small chamber, mouthpiece with rollover baffle. As you can see, and it's got that nice rollover baffle to it, and with a really open facing, really open. It's about equivalent to an Autolink 7, just as it suggests. It's a C chamber, which is the smallest chamber you can get from a Rico Graftonite mouthpiece. It gives a very, very good sound. I mean, it's a $20 mouthpiece from eBay, and it just plays fantastic. I love it. If I need a lot of projection, but I don't need the sound of a metal mouthpiece, I'll just use this, and it sounds awesome. So it's a wailer. Like, you can go. You can get that really big, very projecting sound out of it. Okay? Geez, 35 minutes. Okay, Rico Graftonite A5. This has got a larger chamber and a less open facing. This would be more of a mouthpiece if you were in like a small ensemble situation, like a sax quartet or something, like I'm doing for solos and ensembles for my school this year. Like, this is what it sounds like. It's a lot more rounded sound, not as much edge. Okay. Set this reed down here and go to the Berg Larsen. Now this mouthpiece has a medium open facing. It's a 100, as it says. I had it measured. It's 100, and then over 2, which is the kind of the middle baffle. It's not dark. Then again, it's not very light. And I love this because the Legére reed, because you don't have to soak it. You got to break it in just a little teeny tiny bit, but it's not bad, and it sounds amazing. This is my blues mouthpiece. It's a blaster. You can blow out the wall with it. So it's got a very big sound, like really, really big sound. Takes a lot of air. Now the Autolink, very last mouthpiece I'm going to show you. I don't have time to show you this crap plastic mouthpiece because I absolutely hate it, and I don't really have time in the video. But I don't want to bore you to death, if I haven't already. That is. Bad thing about these Javas is they bow at the end sometimes. And this reed's very well broken in. And I use a 2.5 because the Autolink has a very, very open facing, and it takes a lot of air with a little bit heavier reed to get a good sound out of it. And I don't want to like play a phrase and then have to go and feel like I'm sucking all the air in the world into my lungs, which just defeats the purpose of having having a good mouthpiece. But it's very good mouthpiece. It's got a really, really big chamber. As you can see, no baffle. Look, there's no rollover to the baffle. Extremely scooped sidewalls. And it's got a very open facing, which allows for a huge sound. It's my mouthpiece that I use if I don't have my Java on hand, because I'm just borrowing my own mouthpiece from my friend who uses it in jazz band, because he really doesn't have another good mouthpiece, and he's a senior this year, so I'm just gonna let him use it for the rest of the year, and then he'll give it back to me just permanently, and then I'll just become my main mouthpiece, and then the Link I'll just use like if I don't need as much projection. But here's the Autolink. Like, I use it for, like, dinner gigs and stuff. Like, I have a gig with my dad every other Friday night at the country club. Well, you know what? Not tonight, because it's next Friday. But never mind that. But it doesn't have much volume to it, but it's got a very big, round sound, which is great, because it just blends with the piano really well. It's just me and my dad. It's super cool. Okay, well, I'm not going to bore you further. So, live long and prosper. See you later, guys. Sorry for the enormously long, very boring video.